You're gonna appoint somebody.
Yeah.
You'll make a motion.
A motion to vote? Okay.
A motion to get the moderator. To appoint somebody to moderate.
Okay.
I know. You came from long distance and you daughter walks in at 3:30 this morning for her shift. The whole back of the left side of my helmet. I mean, it's bad. It's at the wall.
I thought, God damn, it's been how many years?
And that's the first thing after the call, before anything else.
So what do you still live here? Wait, no, this is well. No, I go in. I talked to Rick here.
What's that?
Yes, I know. That's why.
Great. Yeah.
They don't recognize your beard on St. Paul.
How are the tooth raised and broke?
I thought about it. I need a haircut. All that crap.
Welcome. It's 2 o'clock. We're going to call to order the special board meeting of Charter Township of Comstock. In the absence of the supervisor today, we do need to appoint a moderator for this meeting. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Trustee Cherry to moderate this meeting.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by Clerk Beauchamp, support by Trustee Pratt. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. The meeting is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will be looking for approval, motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Clerk Beauchamp, seconded by Trustee MacGyver. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, approved, the agenda is approved. So we're gonna move on with public comment. A citizen may state their name and address and may speak only one time for no more than 3 minutes. This may not be given to another citizen to extend their time. The person speaking has the floor and no other citizen shall speak during someone else's time. During this time, you'll be making statements to the board without discussion from the board members, but you are welcome to make an appointment with the supervisor or superintendent to discuss your comments further. Their contact information is located by the door. Please keep comments clean and respectful. Give me just a minute, because I'm also going to be doing this. Oh, you got it? Okay, good. Go ahead.
Hi, his assistant supervisor's right there. He ought to be in charge of this meeting, not Miss Sherry. So he ought to be in charge of this meeting. That's why he's in here. Furthermore, Miss Sherry should not have no discussion about Ben's business because her husband's the one that filed the complaint. She should have no vote on this or anything that is conflict of interest. Ben's business has been up and running. You guys approved him last year. What's your problem now? You guys jealous because he's making money or what? You guys also called the police on me for making a public comment. Guess what? I'm not in handcuffs. I'm not in jail. The complaint was dismissed. So whoever did it, that's all right. Furthermore, Hess is wrecking our community. You guys aren't going to have no community. You keep on knocking out all these small businesses. you're not gonna have nothing. Nobody's gonna wanna move here. Nobody's gonna wanna start a business here. You have people moving out. Like I said, you guys ought to listen to us. We're the ones that got you on that board. Most of you, anyway. Some of you, I don't even know how you got on there. It's just wrong what you guys are doing. You guys are just wanting to line your pockets and that's it. Let's give some more raises to somebody that don't deserve them. Who don't want to answer questions? Hess. People have asked for meetings with him. He has not given them a straight answer about their businesses or nothing. We ought to know what's going on in this town. We've lived here long enough. And I will not apologize for my statements the other day just because you called the cops on me. I have the right to get up here and say anything I want. I'd call you more than that when I want to call you, but I won't. You guys are just wrecking this community. Ben's trying to bring it back up. You guys are bringing it right back down. And like I said, his assistant supervisor's sitting right there, and he ought to have control over this. That's what he's here for. Thank you. And Sherry should have no votes, and I will say that again.
Thank you, ma'am.
I guess I better go. Hello, Andrew Bellows, 7682 North 26th Street. So the question is, of course, on the agenda today is the oath of office for the superintendent. And I've been in this battle for the last 3 years. I'm at Supreme Court of the United States. I'm at Supreme Court of Michigan about the same issue. These arguments which you come up with the de facto officers, I heard that argument 3 years ago. It's a joke. Just because you are de facto, you just showing the whole community there is nothing legal or de jure about you. Absolutely not. So not only did everything what's has done is ultra vires, if you want to be technical about it, but you also created some kind of another law enforcement, or Dakota is in charge of it. I would like to ask you, what statute authorized him to have the law enforcement established here and given tickets to people and sign as an officer under uniform citation forms, as an officer under penalty of perjury? Do you realize what's every single citation which he ever wrote is coming back at you? Because you know and you pay them. And I'm glad it's only 4 of you today, because all those 3 who's absent, they're not guilty, but you are. There is a conspiracy against you, and you are committing conspiracy against all the township people. And I would prefer every single person who ever received any citations from this township to get a hold of me so I can refer them to the proper, not just the authority and attorneys, to challenge every single one of the businesses you ruined. I'm done.
Thank you, sir.
Tim Kearney, 9411 Miller Drive. Thank you for this opportunity to have the due process meeting on the formal complaint reflecting the questions being officially sworn in office. I would also like to include my official complaint involving the zoning assistant and the adding of the township superintendent. The formal complaint was also administered to him as well, in which I have presented you all packets in the future, and you got one today, that I have not been given due process on my complaints as well. Under MLC section 4211, it states the township superintendent must live in the township or move in within 90 days, or the board reserves a right to have a resolution. The board voted unanimously to grant that resolution to allow and set a precedence to allow that these laws should be inactive for the betterment of the township, allowing him to stay without. So you unanimously did that, setting the precedence. That's great. Now, moving forward, We're aware that the government immunity protection from laws we're aware that the government immunity protection from lawsuits, however, there's a window in that immunity that is not protected under the Part 2635-Standards Ethical Conduct of Employees or Executive Branch. The Township Attorney recently went through this process in open session. Unfortunately, we are here today and tomorrow for a second special meeting in closed session to be held at the DDA board meeting. Soil and Friends, I imagine, are being postponed. I'm assuming for a third special meeting. At these special meetings take place, I would remind the board that they have set a precedence. By that unanimous vote, resolution for the Township Superintendent. And the following special meetings should follow due process and procedures, or it will be shown as a biased opinion to the citizens of the township, especially towards an elected official, which the townships voted in. This would be seen as retaliation, hostile work environment, intimidation, political persuasion, and downright ignoring the community's vote. A motion was entered up by two upstanding board members. A vote took place and did not pass, which should have followed suit from the previous precedent set on the resolution for the superintendent, bringing all above mentioned into not having governmental immunity and opening it up to potential class action lawsuit against the no voting elected board members by the township from this tax base. And I too will recommend, we have hired a law firm and we will go at it.
Hi, I'm Nick Bouchard. I'm a veteran too. I live over on Rex. And it's what I've seen and hear and watched you guys treating the guy that come in here to help the community. And all you can do is try to cut him down and take him out. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, each and every one of you. You understand? You know, you can sit there and be quiet and hold your mouth together and all you want. But each and every one of you do nothing for this community. None of you. Ben's been working hard. He works harder than any of you. He's even raising his family decently. And you still want to cut him down. I can't believe how you guys are. You know, what goes around comes around. And I can't wait to see the day it hits you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, this is going to be short and sweet and to the point, and it's all informational to those of you that don't know. I'm Jeannie Kissinger. I live at 322 Lawndale, and I'm here to say, where was Mr. Hess? Where were all of you when Ben had the shelter put up at the church for the people that were homeless and freezing? Not one of you were there. Not one of you helped. Are you too good? Honest to God, you could have went up and helped, and you sit there and write on your pads all you want. But I'm here to tell you, this is a disgrace. You should have all been up there helping. I don't care if they were homeless or they were elderly and they needed the warmth. Where were you? That just tells me this side of the tracks cares more than your side of the tracks. It's back again. There's a division here, and it's getting bigger, and you guys are doing it. It's not the public. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Afternoon, Dean Rockwell. I reside on Fawn Meadow Trail. I am Ben's appointed deputy. I understand from speaking to Supervisor Martin and the opinion from Attorney Thaldo that I do not fill in for these meetings unless asked to do so as you went through those processes, though I'm happy to assist as asked as I'm retired. I would request that at the end of your meeting that any of the board members maybe would publicly comment as to the scheduling of the 2 p.m. special meeting today, if it was a scheduling conflict or attorney availability, or, you know, why such a short notice and the other members of the board couldn't be present, please. As to getting involved and offering to be Ben's deputy, I first became involved just basically through what appeared to be a litigious relationship with the township and small business, Soil Friends. I had never been there, had never met Mr. Martin. My concerns over living here for several years have only grown, though, again, without knowing Mr. Kearney and his issues, but going to DDA meetings and seeing complaints, again, a litigious and adversarial relationship with small business, that we're going to litigate small business, or if he doesn't, you know, comply to these grants, what sounds like in his complaint, that, you know, we are going to cite other businesses. I just think that that is not a way to grow business in Comstock, is to, instead of working with enforcement and compliance, which of course Soil Friends and anybody else needs to do, but find a way to work with these businesses and not find a way to fine them and go to court. As to the oath issues, I don't know. Obviously, I've listened to the discussions. I've followed what these other investigators and, you know, journalists say. I will just say, as a neutral party to any of that, I do think that's obviously an unfortunate distraction or a mistake from our previous council, possibly, that let this oath issue, you know, go on for, you know, a decade or so. If it is something that's being corrected throughout this meeting or through attorney process, obviously that's good, but from the sound of it, it may not be. As far as my business dealings with Mr. Martin, I don't have any, but what I've observed through assisting him in this short time is he's never acted in any self-promotion. Not once when we were in Lansing, when we're at the VFW, the Comstock Community Center, when we've met with residents outside of that on his time. He's never once engaged in self-promotion, talked about his own issues, lawsuits. So I can only, you know, speak to my dealings, just like I have, you know, good dealings with many of you. I've never once seen him act out of character or self-promotion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Emily Murphy. I am a resident of Comstock Township. I'm hoping to better understand why a special board meeting was scheduled for a Tuesday at 2 p.m. and not during a more appropriate time and day that would allow more residents to actually attend, as well as allowing more of the township board as a whole to participate. There are 3 members unable to make this scheduling surprise. I don't understand how that is acceptable. Choices such as these highlight the greater problem of distrust from the public and seemingly purposeful exclusion of a big portion of the board. To consistently kick the can down the road does nothing for anyone. This township continues to undermine the will of its people without hesitation at times. The liquor license complaint hearing should not have been a can to kick in the first place, but here we are making sure to take full advantage of all the stalling tactics, sorry, I missed that word. It is a distraction to avoid accountability for deserved criticisms. Your majority voting body continues to delay any actual progress through the chaos that you all have created. We will finally hear the township attorney address the concerns and complaints regarding the possible lack of an oath of office for the superintendent, but only during a time that isn't possible for the majority to attend, as well as a pretty pitiful attempt to ensure residents knew the meeting was happening. I hope that the process of disseminating any changes of action and information, adding meetings, removing meetings, etc., regarding a meeting covering important issues that are regularly brought to the attention of the board by residents. I think it is fair to acknowledge the oath concern is something the constituents have been asking for clarification on for many months. Conversely, the complaint regarding the liquor license was very quickly acknowledged and put on a schedule. It seems now that the intent was not to actually address it quickly. It was the issue that was heard around the world, so to speak. I've had many people in many different environments, some as far away as Grand Rapids, ask me about the various infighting the board is experiencing and those who are seemingly willing to burn it all to the ground. Why would you not want to present this information in a way that best fits the needs and restrictions of the public? I hope that the board can at least acknowledge that to many of the residents, this feels like a semi-secret surprise meeting regarding pertinent township concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any other public comment? Okay.
Hi. I think the continuation of doing all of these things isn't a very good use of people's time. And if we continue to act like this, we continue to receive those same actions in kind. So we file a complaint, then somebody else files a complaint, and then somebody else files a complaint, until eventually, at some point, somebody has to be the bigger person. And we can clearly see that there's a divide. So how long is it do you guys want to spend your time doing this? For however long that you feel that you will be in those positions, how long do you want to keep doing this? Because I have to imagine that it frustrates you or that it upsets you. Somebody's husband wouldn't have filed a complaint if it didn't bother them. People wouldn't have gone off to trying to defend themselves for fictitious things if things didn't exist. So these things clearly bother you and create conflict in your own lives. The only way to get out of that is to stop perpetuating yourself. At some point, you have to be the bigger person. And so when does that occur? Terry, I look to you, Terry. This is 3 versus 3, Terry. You have more control than anybody else on this board. At any point in time, Terry, you cannot side with them or not side with them, Terry. They need you to do their whatever is actions that they are doing. Terry, I voted for you. I was a little disappointed that you didn't support me. Actually, you did continue to support me in the beginning of that, and then those 3 voted against me in getting that discount for that thing. And I saw, and you wanted to go ahead and allow for the reduction in the fees, but because they had already voted, you had decided not to do it. I'm disheartened by that, Terry. You have more control on this board because those 3 can't do anything without you, and those 3 can't do anything without you either. And at some point, Terry, you can be the bigger person and say enough is enough. You can stop all of it if you want to today. You can do it, Terry. These 3 can't do anything without you, and those 3 can't do anything without you either. It's you, Terry. You have more control than anybody else on the board because you're the only one that is not sitting here trying to get some alternative agenda. These 3 are. It's up to you, Terry. They haven't realized that yet because you just follow along, and these 3 can't do anything, and so everybody sits here and whines, and we have to sit here and pretend that we're not watching grown adults act like this. This is churlish behavior. Having somebody's husband file something is uncouth. It's despicable behavior, Terry, and you have the capacity and the ability to do something about it, man. You can stop all of this. It's you. They can't do anything without you, Terry. All you have to do is say, guys, should we start acting like adults? Do what you did for the last several years, Terry, when you were here, because you've been here longer than these people have. And you know what's better than this, man. I know that you know better, Terry.
Thank you, sir.
When it popped up, Karen Height, when it popped up by my phone yesterday that this meeting had been changed to today, it was like, were you scared because it was all over the internet of how many people were going to come to Monday night's meeting? So, we better change it to a time where all those people can't show up. That's wrong. I don't know which one of you decided that this should be done, but it was wrong. As far as the oath of office for our superintendent, this shouldn't even be discussed amongst you guys. It should have gone to the Attorney General of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
You guys can't decide now. It's been 10 years plus that he did not have an oath of office. Now we're saying, oh, he took it. When did he take it? Who administered it? Was it videotaped? Do we get to see it? It shouldn't be the board. it should be the Attorney General that is deciding whether or not his lack of oath of office. And you're going to come back and say, no, he didn't have to have one because he's a hired employee. But because he has the duties that he has, yes, he has to have an oath of office. And he should have had an oath of office from day one. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any other public comment?
My name's Dave Wiederhold. I live at East Main Street, 7460. I'm like some of these other people here. What you guys are doing is ridiculous. You know? How can you sleep? I don't get it. I really don't. We voted for Ben. The community did. You guys work for who? Who do you represent? Why are you even here? That's a question to ask yourself. Why are you here? You representing the community? Nope. You represent anybody around here? Nope. You're playing games. And you think nobody knows. No one's going to figure it out. No one's going to watch me. Well, guess what? You woke up another one. And I'm sure there's going to be more and more and more. I'm retired. I live in Comstock. I got nothing better to do than watch all of you. And I'm going to be watching you big time. This is ridiculous. You switch the meetings so nobody will know, so you can fly it under the radar. It worked. You got another one watching.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments?
Thank you. Just short and sweet. I don't expect to get any applauses for what I'm about to say, but I'm going to tell you who you represent too. You represent me. You do represent people that aren't here as well. People that don't always take the time to come in, that don't have the time to come in. I didn't have time to come in until I retired. I was working all kinds of overtime, following it on the news and all. You know, this isn't the first time that this has happened where we've had so many problems. I was actually legislative chair for my union. Thank you. And what's going on in Comstock? I said, I don't know. I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, people are up in people's faces taking pictures of them. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. The state police are there, the county sheriff's there. So it's not the first. And it's not the first time that recalls have happened. It's not the first time that supervisors have been tried to be recalled or brought up on charges or sued. So I just want to let you know that I do appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm a strong Democrat, but I'm looking at this now and I'm seeing 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats that's taken all this heat. And I'm proud of that. It's a bipartisan board up here now. And there's another side that can agree to vote the way you do also. It's not you just voting with them to try to make things work. You're voting your conscience and you're doing a good job. So I just want to tell you, I do appreciate it. And there's others out there that appreciate it too. So I'm sorry this is all happening, and Mr. Hess is doing a great job. I mean, everybody knows that. There are nobody in this township can do what he does. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If there is no further public comment, then we'll go ahead and move on to business. Clerk Beauchamp, would you like to?
Yeah, I can present this. So today we are talking about rescheduling the liquor license complaint hearing. The reason for doing that is it probably shouldn't have been scheduled during a normal board meeting, so we can complete the business before the board on the 16th. And also, I'm sure there will be a lot of community there, so we are looking at moving it to a larger venue. So the hearing is not today. We are looking to reschedule it. I am proposing on March 24th, I believe, if Attorney Thal is available, that date. At 6 p.m. That does work for you. And I do propose, I did talk to the high school today and the Colt Center is available. So I'm proposing that it be scheduled on March 24th at 6 p.m. at the Colt Center at the high school.
Support.
So let me just redo that so it's a proper motion. I make a motion that we reschedule the liquor license complaint hearing regarding Ben Martin / Soil Friends to March 24th at 6 p.m. at the Colt Center.
Support.
Is that a roll call, Rob? Okay. So we have a motion and we have a seconded, motion made by Clerk Beauchamp, supported by Trustee Pratt. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes.
And the next item we have is addressing the superintendent oath of office complaint, which Attorney Thal is going to present.
All right, so part of the reason we had to meet today is because we received basically what I would see as maybe a threat that if we didn't respond by tomorrow, that we'd be sued on the issue. So it was not something that we could wait until the next meeting to address. So that's why we're addressing it today. And so I've looked at this issue. I've got a statement that can be released out to the public, so I would ask the board to release it out to the public. If the board wants me to read that, I can do that. And then I'd be looking for, if you agree, a motion to put it up on your website or make it publicly available for people that are concerned. All right, so the questions were recently raised by certain members of the public regarding the oath of office to be taken by Township Superintendent Hess. As soon as the issue was raised, the township looked into the matter and it was determined that Superintendent Hess did take an oath of office on November 22nd, 2016 to serve in the capacity of an ordinance officer for the township. Superintendent Hess did not take a broader oath of office in his complete capacity as Township Superintendent. Superintendent Hess has now taken the oath of office as of January 7, 2026 for his complete position as Township Superintendent. In fact, all township employees, including Superintendent Hess, have taken the oath. Additionally, because other concerns have been raised regarding ordinance enforcement, it should be noted that Township Ordinance Officer Dakota Skabransky took an oath of office for his position on April 11, 2025. To be complete, it should be further noted that each elected board member took their oath of office in a timely manner following their election as required by law. The Michigan Constitution 1963, Article 11, Section 1 provides the oath requirement for officials as follows. All officers, legislative, executive, and judicial, before entering upon the duties of their respective offices, shall take and subscribe the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of blank according to the best of my ability. No other oath, affirmation, or religious test shall be required as a qualification for the office or public trust. Additionally, MCL 15.151 addresses employees and provides that all persons now employed or who may be employed by the state of Michigan or any governmental agency thereof, and all other persons in the service of the state or any governmental agency shall, as a condition of their employment, take and subscribe to the oath or affirmation required of members of the legislature and other public officers by Section 2 of Article 16 of the Constitution of 1908 of the state of Michigan. In light of these two sections of Michigan law, all employees, including Superintendent Hess, have now taken the oath of office. Treasurer Bloomfield requested that the township attorney look at two further questions. She asked about the validity of actions taken by township superintendent prior to taking the oath of office, and also about the superintendent's authority to take action following the oath. It was determined that the actions of the township superintendent prior to taking the oath of office are still valid under the doctrine of de facto officers. In the Michigan Supreme Court case of People v. Matthews, 289 Mich. 440, the court addressed a de facto officer. The court addressed a person is a de facto officer when he's in possession and is exercising the duties of an office. The incumbency is unlawful in some respect. He is at least a fair color or right of title to the office, or has acted as an officer for such length of time and under such circumstances of reputation or acquiescence by the public and public authorities as to afford a presumption or of appointment or election and induce people without inquiry and relying on this supposition that he is the officer he assumes to be, to submit to or invoke his action. Based upon the circumstances in this matter, Superintendent Hess's actions in service under his employment contract with the township was as a de facto officer until he took the oath of office, and the validity of prior actions must be accepted. Additionally, Superintendent Hess has full authority to continue to operate as township superintendent. Superintendent Hess is an employee of the township and is under a contract for his services. Having taken the oath of office, Superintendent Hess is no longer de facto official, and both the township and superintendent must operate under the currently executed contract. The position of township superintendent is different than elected board members. If an elected board member fails to take the oath of office on or before January 1 of their election year, their position is vacant, and the township board has 45 days to appoint to fill the vacancy. Superintendent Hess is not an elected official and is under current contract with the township to perform services. I would ask that the board consider this for adoption and release to the public.
Board, I make a motion that this statement read by Attorney Thal be adopted and made for public to witnesses.
Yes, I agree.
Second.
To the second.
Thank you. I beg your pardon.
Okay, motion made by trustee Pratt, seconded by trustee McIver. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. So moving on to public comment. Citizen may state their name and address and may speak only one time for no more than 3 minutes. This may not be given to another citizen to extend their time. The person speaking has the floor and no other citizen shall speak during someone else's time. During this time, you'll be making statements to the board without discussion from the board members, but you are welcome to make an appointment with a supervisor or superintendent to discuss your comments further. Their contact information is located by the door. Please keep comments clean and respectful.
Tammy Keeler, where's the proof that he did that he took the oath? We want proof from 2016 and from the other day. All the other people's oaths are on video. Why isn't his? Why haven't we seen it? Is he lying? Are they lying to you too? I think so, because I don't think the oath of office was ever taken. And as far as you and the attorney changing the rules for the township, you're not allowed to do that. You guys sat there, and right after you guys changed the rules is when this stuff come up about Ben. And after this complaint from Sherry's husband. I mean, you guys got more problems than what you know. Because this town is going to hell in a hay basket, and yes, I will say it. And you guys are letting it go down, you four. You guys are mad. You guys can bring up Sandy's court cases and Ben's court cases. Let's see how many you guys got. And I'm still digging into some insurance fraud stuff also, which somebody goes down to a bar and gets drunk and blabs about, oh, I burned down my house. I stole 2 motorcycles just to get the insurance money. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that know about it. So there's a lot of things that somebody's husband on this board is hiding, and we will find more. I got a whole list. They want me to bring it. Yeah, it's pretty sad. You guys got an embezzler on your board and everything else. Don't tell me she don't know what he did. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Joe Perry, 6384 East L Ave. I very well know plenty about the Cherries. His club name is Profit, figure that out. I've watched him over the years run a family who lived next door to him, who had a sandblasting business, put him out of business. He's a dirty dog. That's all I got to say. And this mafia thing here, bodyguards, it ain't gonna work. Not at all. Intimidating the people, they don't have to be intimidated. As far as I'm concerned, Guy Cherry, I'll say his name, sets a home and tries to run his mafia, whatever you want to call it. His wife, she's a puppet. She does what he says. She was elected, he wasn't. I don't get it. What you don't see, she can look at me right in my eyes. She knows I know him, his dirty ways, and I wouldn't shake his hand for nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Andre Bellos again. So, as you said, de facto office does not cure the previous acts because that office was not official at all. It was vacant. Because of the delegation authority, he took it from MCL 4210. When it allows him to do the law enforcement, at that point, he established his office and he vacated his office 10 days later, MCL 8510. You have to take an oath of office within 10 days. So the 45 days which you come up is really just a reference as well. So MCL 851016, it also says, if you did not take your oath of office within the time prescribed, you vacated your office. Vacancy cannot be cured by the later taking an oath for the oath of office. At the point when he vacated his office, you have to be rehired. All the contracts have to be reestablished. You cannot establish somebody's. So let me explain this part, because this is, so it's, let's say, like a driver's license. If I would have no driver's license today, and I would get pulled over, and I get the citations for not having a driver's license today, if I go and take a driver's license tomorrow, does it fix my yesterday's ticket? No. So your theory is just debunked. I know it has not been established, the precedents, but I'm working on it. It's not going to go away. The Attorney General needs to be involved. The Q warrant needs to be issued.
Those things are really needs to be processed, because years ago I was just lone wolf. Now I'm no longer a lone wolf. This whole community is awakened how serious the oath of office is, because this is established your authority. This is a contract which you start with. Without oath of office, you have no contract between public. How can you protect them without the oath of office? That is one of the reasons I never took a citizenship, because I found out about all these deficiencies in different countries, in different counties around the United States, because you don't care about if you take the oath of office or not. So please tell me, why do I want to be a citizen if you don't care about Constitution? This is one of the biggest things which I'm holding on. You need to fix these things. You need to get rid of it. You need to fix all the contracts. Like I said, by the appointment of from the statute MCL 4210, you cannot appoint delegations which is appointed to the elected person. So elected person like Ben, he has the constitutional duties to do it. Cannot take those from him. See.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I'm Nick again. I got a question for you. You're a lawyer, right? And earlier in your statements, you said after they get voted in, that's when they take the oath. Didn't do it, did he? So that tells me something's wrong there. He should have never made it. He don't even live in the county. He don't care about this area. All he cares about is what he gets in that wallet. And the rest of you, shame on you. I know one thing, none of you go to church, because if you did, you'd be burning. You guys are just terrible. And you, for a lawyer, unbelievable. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, I know, go like that. Who cares, right? As long as you make a few bucks too? Is that what it is? Wow. And you, and you, and you especially used to have a gas station up on Gold Road. And now you want to help burn somebody else who's got a business? You ought to be definitely ashamed of yourself. I used to go to your station. I'll tell you what, if I knew that's the way you really were going to be, I would have never went there, and I bet you a bunch of other people won't. But I'll tell you one more thing. When it's election time, none of you are going to get a vote. None of you. You guys screwed up. You could have used your heads and worked with Ben. He was doing good until you guys decided to screw him. And it's not funny. None of you. I'm ashamed of you. Because you used to talk in the days how Comstock was good, it's good going. It ain't now, is it? You got your money, you going. Yeah, I'm not sure you're even a licensed lawyer. And I'd smile too if I was you, because you don't act like one. And Bob, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You used to raise kids. You used to be good with them. What happened?
Thank you, sir.
When I came in today, I was going to come in and lambaste you guys for scheduling this meeting where not the township people could be here for it. I understand why now, because Attorney Thal explained it. So I won't lambaste you for that. However, what I don't like is the fact that everybody goes after Christy Cherry's husband, but then Christy Cherry's husband turns around and goes after all of us, quote unquote, Ben and Sandy's misfits, because we get up and we speak. We don't speak for Ben, we don't speak for Sandy, we speak for ourselves. Just like Christy Cherry says she speaks for herself, she doesn't speak for her husband. So you can't lay anything on what I say what Tammy says, what anybody else says, and blame it on Ben or Sandy, because it's not them. They can't control what we say. Just like Ms. Cherry cannot control what her husband says. I wish our township could get along better. I pray that our township could get along better. I don't understand in my heart how people can have so much hate towards each other. And that's what it has come down to. It's evil. You got good, you got evil. And right now, evil's winning. And if it's evil winning, unfortunately, that's the four of you. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tim Kearney, I guess you're going to dismiss my due process on my formal complaint against the superintendent, as well as he hired me out to a third party with my actions trying to pursue the food truck, permanent food truck, which doesn't exist, and the rightful text amendment that should be handed as legal. Attorney Thal is looking into trying to charge me from a third party, dismiss me. You have that right, in fact, in your folders. I shouldn't have to pay a dime because it's all legal verbiage and text amendments that should pertain to the establishments we're putting in. And as far as the food truck permit, I shouldn't have to pay a dime there because the planning commission did it wrong, and I don't need to do that pursuit. I'll wait. If I don't get my due process, Mr. Hess, you're very aware that we have retained an attorney. Mr. Thal, you're aware of it. Tomorrow, you're going to go into a closed session, I'm hearing, for my complaint at the DDA board. Nicole, last board meeting, you looked at me and you singled me out because you said that something about, that you're not giving away land and you don't record comments from the board. You know what? We're looking at you pretty hard, too, for nepotism. You have a direct involvement related right on down the line with this community. You want to judge me for how I look? You think I can't financially support it? You might want to be careful. We got a lot more coming at you than you know. So I wouldn't make comments to people in the public about their comments. They have every right to stand up here and speak. But I'm looking at you very seriously for your comment directed to me the other day. Because yes, giving it to land bank is giving it away. It should go to tax auction.
Thank you, sir.
Should call the cops on you, ma'am.
I don't really care.
Hi.
Easy, Timmy.
It's pretty interesting seeing you four up there. I mean, you guys are the ones that have made pretty much every controversial decision on this board since the past election. I mean, a lot of people see it. I know that you guys don't really care, though. Sweep things under the rug when it's politically convenient and attack your other elected officials when it becomes politically advantageous. It's just funny. Comstock sees it. You four. All four of you. Always against Ben. Always against Sandy. Always against Jerry. Always against the majority of the residents that show up and speak to you. It's crazy. I guess that's why we have recalls going. Mine's starting back up soon, by the way. You guys are just going really nuts right now, and I think it needs to go back up. I was gonna just let it lie low and let it go, but I don't think the community can afford to do that. So look forward, community. It's coming back.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
So I think that, you just saw, again, the same thing where if you guys continue to push, the community will continue to push back. And at some point, you have to be the bigger person. And so all of these things can always go away when you just act like the bigger person. And the fact that if her husband, the behavior here in this township is so wildly embarrassing. I can't for a moment believe that anybody here on the board goes and tells their family how they behave here at the board. I can't imagine that you go and say, look how great of a job that we did. And the reason why you don't do that is because it's embarrassing behavior. You have your own family members sending complaints in? That's embarrassing. If you continue to push back on people and argue and bicker and harass them, because that's what it's starting to get to. This is starting to get to levels of harassment of certain individuals. We can't sit here and have Scott say that this is third-party retaliation when we have somebody's husband who publicly posts that somebody is a crook, that somebody's a POS. This is embarrassing behavior. So if Scott can file a complaint and the board has to take it up and be serious about it, then we must have all complaints be taken seriously. Why wasn't my complaint about Bob Pratt taken up by the board? That was an actual official complaint, a formal complaint that I filed. It was not taken up by the board. The only one that was actually taken up was Nicole's. And that was only taken up because she was frustrated about it. And she felt that she had to go ahead and justify her existence and say that, no, I'm not doing nepotism. I vote independently. And she didn't even have the common courtesy, which is honestly part of the disrespect here, the common courtesy to respond back. I had to email 3 times to find out. And I only found out when everybody else found out about my complaints at the same time because I happened to show up. The board here should go ahead and look at Portage as an example of how you behave as adults. What did they do? They had the big whole trash get up. And everybody was up in arms. And the board obviously disagreed with them. But you know what? They redid the website. And you know what's the first thing on the website? Information on how to participate in the election. That even if the city or the board disagrees with the community, they will at least do right by the way of the community and provide them the opportunity to express themselves. And here we have people doing, man, oh man, you guys got to do better. This is such embarrassing behavior for you guys. You can do better.
Thank you, sir. If there is no further public comment, then we will move on to members' comment. Trustee McIver?
Well, I really don't have anything to add that's going to be helpful, but I thank you people that do come and do talk. As difficult as it is here at times, it's what communication's about. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have nothing.
Trustee Pratt?
Nothing tonight. Thank you very much.
Attorney Thal, was there anything you would like to?
Yeah, I would just like to correct one thing that I heard. The citation was 85.10 that was referenced that the oath of office had to be taken within 10 days in the township. That statute, all officers elected or appointed in the city. We're not a city, we're a township. This law is completely inapplicable to the township. It's regarding cities. So I just want to correct that for the record. It's a city law, not a township. It's a city. Right, not townships.
Let's continue.
Yep, okay. So there's no discussion, but thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, Attorney Thal. So if there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
attorney. Hey, how are you? You know who I am now?
Yeah, I do.
How are you?
Good, bro.
Good. That's it. That's been 20 years about it, you know? So what are you doing now?
Well, good to know you, brother.